wants to do code in 5 minutes for code? Oh, hell. Bring it, boy. Code in 5.
What's up, brothers and sisters? Welcome to another episode of Code in 5. My name's Paul Labnath, your host, where we talk about code for 5 minutes or less, and sometimes I'm a little long on that. And thanks for joining me on today's show. Today I want to talk about something that gets talked about a lot on the internet, as well as on a lot of the Facebook forums, and this is folks out there making statements about the code that is inaccurate. Now, I get it. There's a lot of people out there who want to be, code people, but they really just install it, and they really haven't studied the National Electrical Code. But they go on all kinds of forums, and they become instant experts. They know everything there is to know about code, so they start posting it, and then other people follow it, and then other people follow it, and then all of a sudden it makes its way to TikTok or makes its way over to Instagram, and then everybody starts picking it up like it's the latest thing, and it is wrong. It's so important for you to understand the National Electrical Code as part of your profession. So when you go on these social medias and you start to post these things that propagate inaccurate statements, misleading, let me give you an example. Over on the Facebook forum, there was somebody posting, and I posted a picture of some non-metallic sheath cable being installed parallel on a framing member. And of course, it has to stay 1.25 inches from both the nearest edge of the framing member. Of course, in the 2023 edition, it's going to make it very clear that it applies to both sides of that framing member, although it should go without saying when it says that it has to be 1.25 inches from the nearest edge. That's the nearest offending edge. Okay, obviously, the other side's not going to be an issue, right? Anyway, so what we got is people will post things like, well, staples have to be insulated staples. And they simply will die on that sword. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Now, nothing says in the National Electrical Code that those staples have to be insulated. Now, you have to install them right. We have workmanship. You got to know how to install a staple. And trust me, I see plenty of people who have no clue, or they shouldn't even have a hammer in their hand when they put staples in, okay? And you're going to see that in some upcoming videos that I'm going to do on my channel for some electrical inspection videos. But anyway, so I see these posts on the internet. Now, look, I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just saying, if you can't back it up with code, what the hell are you posting it for? Because you've heard it from somebody or it's urban legend? It just makes you look foolish to make statements on the National Electrical Code when you have no real knowledge of what the code rule is. You just heard it from somebody else, right? So as we re-kick open this Code in 5, and you're going to hear a lot more of these Code in 5s, at the request of Jay the Basement King, I'm bringing the Code in 5 back. But really, think about what you post on the internet, folks. You need to make sure that if you're going to say something as if it's gospel, that it actually is backed up by a code reference. Other than that, you're just posting jibber jabber that really doesn't mean anything to anybody, and nobody's learning from it, okay? You're not required to have insulated staples. Is it a good idea? Sure, go ahead if you want. I wouldn't. I'm just buying regular staples. But if you feel it makes you feel better, go for it, right? And there's other people that say things like, well, the non-metallic sheath cable is supposed to be in the center of the stud. That is not what the code says. The code says it has to be maintained 1.25 inches from the edge of the cable to the edge of the framing member, the nearest framing member, okay? So the nearest edge of that framing member. That's what it says, right? It doesn't say it has to be in the center. I mean, if you had a wall that's a 2x6 wall, do you have to put it in the center? Absolutely not. Is it maybe a good practice to keep in the center? Absolutely. But it's not a code requirement. There's rules in the code that tell you this, and people say, well, code's a minimum. Oh, give me a break when people say that kind of crap. Code is what it is. Just follow the code. You're going to have the minimally safest. If you want to go above code, go for it. So get your panties out of a wad when I talk about the minimum safety standard, because that is exactly what it is. Stop beating your chest, learn the National Electrical Code, and move on, and you might learn something. Check us out over at electricalcodeacademy.com. You might be surprised the information that you learn. Until next time, folks, stay safe. God bless.
Can we do code in 5? Who wants to do code in 5? 5 minutes for code.